Hi guys, Ajanaku here. In this video, I'll be reacting to a video of the Ugandan government clamping down on the promotion of gay rights in their country. Now let's get into it.
Bill.
We go! We go! We go! We go! We go! Museveni, we go! We go!
Thousands of Ugandans this morning took to the streets of Kampala in a solidarity march against homosexuality as they headed towards the Kololo Independence grounds to take part in the national Thanksgiving prayers and to
These people are coming in mass to protest against this issue of gay rights in their country. Man, they are not playing, they are really serious. They don't want it in their country. Like, it is really serious.
thank the president for signing into law the anti-homosexuality bill.
We go! We go! We go!
We go, we go,
Museveni, we go!
we go.
The packed Kololo Independence grounds erupted into a celebration as President Museveni arrived and was received by the heads of the different religious denominations. Speaking on behalf of the Interreligious Council, the Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Shaban Mubaje, thanked the president for not succumbing to Western pressures to discard the anti-homosexuality bill. He also said that the interreligious...
I don't know why the West is really promoting and pushing this agenda. Like, I don't understand. What are they trying to benefit from it? What are they trying to gain from it? Like, there are more better things to promote in the world than promoting this agenda, like this gay rights movement. Like, I don't know. Can someone please tell me in the comments, like, what's really going on? I don't understand. Why is it so important to them? I mean, there are hungry kids in Africa, there are poverty in Africa, there are people suffering in Africa and other places, there's war around the world, there are bad things happening. Like, these people are not promoting things to curb or mitigate these things, they are promoting gay rights. Like, I don't understand.
Council is under attack for supporting the move.
As the Interreligious Council of Uganda, we have also suffered the cut of aid worth US dollars 3.5 million, fund meant for HIV prevention.
Okay, so the cut of funds meant for HIV prevention and protection, like funds, just because the country did not want to accept this whole LGBTQ movements, like, agenda. I don't understand. Why would they do that, to cut off funds needed for people that actually need these things to survive, to live based on their condition, just because of a movement, LGBTQ gay rights? Like,
Religious leaders joined in to lead the country in prayer in a show of strength and solidarity.
As we pray, O God, for purity of heart, help us practice a personal approach to assist our sons and daughters who have been led astray in this vice of homosexuality.
So marriage is between a man and a woman, nothing more, nothing less. We must remain obedient to the Holy Bible and the Holy Quran.
the obedient movement.
In his speech, President Museveni accused Western countries for allegedly attacking African culture.
They are attacking our culture, which is the bedrock of our survival. This is not acceptable. It is a waste of time.
He said they are attacking our culture, which is the bedrock of our survival. Wow, that's an amazing speech. Like, that's an amazing speech. I'm not really a big fan of African presidents, but man, this guy, M7, I give it to you. Museveni, I give it to you, man.
And that does not need donor aid before lashing out at the West for trying to order around African leaders.
You do this, you do that. How can I go into somebody's home and tell him, you do this, you do that? Bad manners.
President and
This guy is a legend. He said, how can you go to someone's house, like go to someone's home and tell them, eat like this, dress like this, speak like this? Like, you are a guest in someone's home, and when you get there, you are now dictating to them how they are to live their life, how they are to build their home, how they are to structure their family. Like, it's crazy. This guy, he said bad manners. M7. I to salute.
Others at the forefront in the fight against homosexuality were recognized for their contribution and awarded gifts by members of the Interreligious Council. The prayers come at a time of a great rift between Uganda and donor countries after signing into law the Anti-Homosexuality Act.
We now have a parliament which is considering new legislation which would massively increase the punishments for homosexuality from up to 14 years in prison to a new punishment of life in prison.
Shit! Punishment of, before it was 14 years imprisonment to life imprisonment. Man, these guys, they are not joking with this thing. No. Guy, they know they joke. If you mess up, you try anything like this, Utilo, you are gone.
What is your view as president of that proposal?
My view is that I do not support promotion of homosexuality, but I do not support persecution or discrimination of homosexuals as our society has always done. We never discriminated them. We never marginalized them or discriminated against them.
But Mr. President,
but we would not, what people resent is promotion.
If the Parliament passes this legislation pushing for life imprisonment for homosexuality, will you block that legislation?
It will depend what the life sentence is for. Is it for promotion, for instance, recruiting young children into that practice by offering money? That's where the problem is. Inducement, manipulating, using money which they collect from the West. That's what I would also not like.
Just a couple of years ago, you said gay relationships are against God's will. You clearly believe there is a religious as well as a legislative and political need to take action against homosexuality.
Well, it is true that God cannot, it must be, I have not studied the science of how people become homosexuals, but certainly the normal way is to be heterosexual. But that's what nature created us for. But maybe there are some exceptions for some good scientific reasons. If they are there, our culture is keep your private life to yourself. Do not impose it on others. Do not promote it. Just keep your own confidential sexual life to yourself.
A final thought on this. Barack Obama, for one, but other Western leaders as well, have said that they will tie future aid and development funding in a host of countries, including yours, to what they see on the human rights front, but particularly on these gender and sexual identity issues. How do you feel about that?
That would be their biggest mistake, because they should be very careful about Black Africa. Black Africa are humble people. We never impose our views on anybody else.
I don't understand. Like, why would you want to impose your own view, your own way of life on others? You don't need to impose. If they want to adopt it, let them adopt it by themselves. But you coming and imposing it like, okay, this is our way of life, this is how we do things over here, and we want you to also emulate it, do it. Not even emulate, we want to impose it, we want to put it on you and say, you have to do this by force. Like, it's crazy. It doesn't work that way. I feel like even if they want to promote this whole LGBTQ or this gay rights and everything, I feel like they could actually do it in a subtle way that they would allow the African people to adopt it by themselves, but not forcefully, not imposing it on them. Like, I think that would be the best way to go about doing these things, but not actually putting it on their face. They will be resistant to it. Most people don't really like you telling them what to do, especially adults. They don't really like you telling them what to do, like, you must do this. No, let them live their own life, let them choose their own path, let them choose their own way. Don't impose things on them. It's wrong. You can never see, I think, on the flip side, like, Africans don't go about imposing their culture, their way of life on other people, no. But if you like our culture, if you like our way of life, and you see that, wow, this is cool, and you want to emulate it, fine, there's no problem. But we don't go about doing that. So that shows that it seems like there is an agenda for them to actually be promoting these things and also cutting off AIDS. that they've been paying over time because of this. So that means this agenda is more important than the aid that they've been paying to people that actually need those aids. Like, it's crazy, guys.
We are not like Europeans or like Arabs who want to impose their views. I normally tell people that when I hear Arabs talking of haram, that's something which is haram. I always tell them that my list of haram is much longer than that one of the Arabs. I don't eat fish because I call it snake. I don't eat chicken because I think if you eat chicken you will be unstable. I don't eat pigs. I don't eat very many of those things which you people you eat. Even when I come here I have a problem of what to eat. But I keep this to myself. This is the difference with the black people.
Well, if you're determined to keep it to yourself, can I take it then that you will sack your Minister for Ethics, who just a few days ago took it upon himself to invade a meeting of gay human rights campaigners, close down the meeting, force them all out? Will you now sack him because he invaded their personal space?
I will have to study what they were doing. You see what, this question, I have told you, homosexuality is not criminal, is if it is personal, you are not discriminated, you are not persecuted. But when you induce young people, so it depends on what they were doing. Those homosexuals, what were they doing?
You told me when I mentioned Barack Obama's position on this that you said, you know, Western governments and leaders, they need to be careful. Let's just explore that.
They should avoid, like this one of saying, tying aid to promoting homosexuality. I can tell you many African people will not accept it. And it will be a very big mistake.
Very big mistake. One thing about Africans, like, they tend to take things overboard. Like, if they adopt something, they'll go to the extreme end to stand by it. For example, look at Christianity and Islam. Like, when the Africans adopted Christianity and Islam into their life, man, they stuck by it. Like, till today, they are like diehard Christians, they are diehard Muslims. Like, Muslim values, Christian values, they are sticking to it as if they were the ones that actually promoted it initially, as if they didn't adopt this thing from someone else. So imagine Africa adopting this LGBTQ movement and everything. Man, they'll go extreme with it, they'll go overboard with it, and man, it will be really crazy in Africa. So I think we should be very careful and think twice before making any decision, because Africa tends to take things to the extreme.
And laughable to hear of some actors in the world giving us lectures about democracy. You give me a lecture about democracy? What are your own credentials? We neither seek nor need any approbation from anybody outside Uganda, except our peers in the African Union and NEPAD. If you want to know what we are doing in a respectful way, we can share with you. Some actors are always in search of enemies. They are looking for enemies. You are not an enemy, they declare you an enemy. When we are still fighting, are you pro-East or pro-West? Idiot, I am pro-Africa.
Oh, man, this guy is a legend. When you are fighting, are you pro-East or pro-West? Bro, I'm pro-African, man. I ain't no. I'm not pro-East, I'm not pro-West, I'm pro-African. Man, this guy is M7. Guys, and this is a very interesting topic. Now, we don't really need to joke about it. Really need to sit down and think, okay, what is the way forward with this whole thing? We have to sit down and make the right decision for ourselves and our future generations, guys. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Share your thoughts in the comment and subscribe to this channel. I'm on the road to 100 subs. Please support a Nigerian brother, and see you in the next one, guys.